Deputy Speaker, can I first of all just remind the House of my entry in the members' interest in the register? Could I commend my honourable friend for the remarkable pace at which he has got to grips with the challenges of acquisition in defence. He's not been in post very long, and I think he's brought intellectual rigour to this challenge, which some of us have been trying to do for a while. I'd also like to endorse everything that was said by the Chairman of the Select Committee, who is an expert on these issues, and I'm really pleased that he's sought to bring the learning from the current conflict in Ukraine back into our own system here in the UK. Other countries are learning how to adapt their acquisition systems rapidly, and we absolutely need to do the same. So very briefly, I completely endorse the integrated procurement model. We had the precursors for this were in the complex weapons programme, which has been running for over 10 years. I think the fact that he's referred to it in the current contract that he announced yesterday for the next stage of the competition for the medium helicopter lift is a really good example of that. Introducing agility, what he said about exportability, what he said about innovation, are all things that many of us have been pushing the MOD to take forward, and the spiral development, and in particular the move to go from an initial operating capability and final operating capability to a minimum deployable should have a huge impact on accelerating things. Finally, Mr. Deputy Speaker, on the SRO point, which was referred to earlier, I think if he can look at extending terms, double, triple terms for service personnel and key civil servants in that role, he will assist enormously in retaining knowledge within the system.
To remind the House, please focus on the question that you want the Minister to respond to. Minister.
Well, it's a privilege to have a question like that from a former Minister for Defence Procurement who follows another former Minister for Defence Procurement, the Chairman of the committee. If he doesn't mind me saying what he said to me privately when I got the job, he's made this point about the importance then of SROs spending as long as possible in role. That was in the Sheldon report. Obviously, there is an employment law issue in the sense we can't insist on that. But I think I referred to the statistics showing what we're doing on SROs. We're investing more into them, the Army in particular. A couple of other quick points about learning lessons from Ukraine. Absolutely. One lesson that I have been struck by is the importance of electronic warfare and jamming and interference, understanding the way in which the battle space has changed, which is why I keep emphasising the importance in our system of getting data from the front and from wargaming to inform procurement. Finally, he spoke about complex weapons. Incredibly important points. It's about the portfolio approach, which actually should lead to more agile commercial relationships, enabling both a better demand signal to industry, which drives their investment, but also gives us a more nimble approach when dealing with industry.